Hello guys, and welcome to this React.js React Router tutorial. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you all about React Router. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is go to our code editor. So for me it's going to be Visual Studio Code. And let's open up a new terminal and let's install React Router. That's the first step. So npm install React Router DOM and then -s to save it. Click enter and this should install React Router for you. Okay, so now that we have installed React Router, let's get on to the next step, which is actually setting up React Router. So the first thing we want to do is actually delete all this code inside app.js. So go to your app.js component and delete all this code that React.js gives you. And now what we want to do is use the browser router component from React Router. So let's actually import this. So import browser router, and I'm going to rename this to router, so as router, and this would be imported from React Router DOM, and now this is going to be our main component. So browser router, sorry, not browser router because we called it router. So router, and okay, and inside this we're going to have routes, so we need to import root as well, the root components from React Router DOM. So for each route we're going to use the root component. So now let's make a route. So we'll do route and then close it, and this route takes in a path and takes in the component that you want to render when the user goes onto this route. So the path, for example, let's specify it, for example, slash. So slash nothing would be the path for this route, and the component that it will render is going to be let's make a component for this. So I'll make a components folder inside source, and I'll make home components for now. So home.js, and over here I'm going to do RFC, React Functional Component. If you want to do this, you can install this extension for React.js. So ES7 I think it's called. Yes, ES7 React Redux GraphQL React Native Snippets. So this extension allows you to make React components very easily. So you can do a Redux component for class Redux component, so RC Redux, and that would give you a whole Redux component. You can do RCC, React class component, and RCCP, React class component with prop types. That is like, it makes making components much easier, and other stuff as well. So I really recommend installing that VS Code extension. Okay, so now that we have created our component, so save this and go back to app.js, and we want to pass in that component to this component property for the root. So we'll do home, and this would automatically import it for me. As you can see, if it did not import it for you, you have to import it like this. So importing the home component from /component/home, which is the path of that component. So we'll pass in that component to the root, and so in that component, for example, let's just say hello world, or actually no, let's say hello, this is the home component. So now if I go back to my application, as you can see, it says that because we are on the slash path, so slash nothing, so just localhost 3000 slash nothing. So if I go back to my application and go to app.js, if I change this path to slash home, for example, and now I save this, go back to Chrome, as you can see, there's nothing, because we're not on the path slash nothing has nothing. It does not render anything. If we go to slash home, as you can see, it renders the home component, because that is the path of that route that we have created. So let's keep this as slash nothing for now. So like this would be our main route. So slash nothing, as you can see, it says this. Hello, this is the home component, which is being rendered from the home component. Okay, so now let's have a new route for example, about, because sometimes you might get some issues with when you have two routes. So I want to show you how to fix that. So route, and then close that component, and we'll make a path called slash about, for example. So, and we'll give we'll make a component for about. So for now I'm just going to put in about over here, capital A, and let's make an about component, new file, sorry, not folder, about.js, RFC, React Functional Component, and as you can see, it made me a component easily. So now I'm just going to say hello, this is the about component. Okay, so when the about component has been rendered, this is what it will display on the front page. So on the page, sorry. So if I go to app.js now, we need to import this about component. So we can copy paste this. I'm just going to do it again. So import about from ./components/about. Now let's save this and let me show you what happens if I go to /about. So /about. As you can see, it renders the home component and the about component. This is because it recognizes the root as also path slash. So to fix this issue, what we need to do is we need to pass in the exact property and pass that in here as well. So if we save this now, as you can see, it only renders the about component. So what that exact property does is it checks if the path is exactly the path that is for the root. So it's not exactly /nothing, so it wouldn't render the home component, but it is exactly /about, as you can see, /about. It's exactly /about, so it would render the about component. If I remove this exact property, then it would think that the root is both. So if I, as you can see, it renders both components. So I need to put in the exact property to fix this issue. As you can see, it's rendering the about component only. Okay, so good. Now we know how to create multiple roots and how to set up React Router, but now we need to know how to let the user click on a button and that would take him to the root. So, for example, we have an about button for the home component. He clicks that about button and that will take him to the about root. And on the about component, we would have a home button and he clicks that home button and it will take him to the home root. So let's go ahead and actually do this. So I'm going to go to the home component and I'm going to make a button here. So button, and I'll just say about. So this will take him to the about root. And let's see how that looks. So if I go to the path /nothing, which renders the home component, as you can see, we have the about button. So now when he clicks on this about button, I want the application to take him to the about root. So to do this, we need to use the link component from React Router. So let's do this. So link, it automatically imported it for me from React Router DOM. If it didn't import it like this, import link from React Router DOM, and let's put in our text over here. So about, and you can put it as a button and style it how you like. For now, I'm just going to not care about styling and just put the text about. And now for this link component, we can pass in the to property. So the to property is basically to the root that we want to take him when he clicks on this link component. So the link, so we want to take him to /about because that's the route we want to take him when he clicks on the about button. So if I refresh, it automatically saves it for me. So if I click on about, as you can see, it takes him to /about and changes this to hello, this is the about component. And yes, so it renders the about component and takes him to the about route. So now when I want to put a button in the about component, that takes him to the home route. So it's going to be the same thing. So if I go to about, have a link from React Router DOM, automatically imported it for me. You can import it like this if you like. And we'll put in home inside this. So when he clicks on this, it will take him to the home route. And then we'll do the to property and /nothing. So the path will be /nothing because that's the home route. So now if I go back to our browser, click on home, as you can see, it takes him back to /nothing. And now hello, this is the home component, and we have the about button, which takes us to the about component, about route, that renders the about component. So I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial about React Router. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye.